So we talked about Asia being the now of the game. Let's talk about the future of the game. Juju Watkins.
Love Juju. Love Juju.
You've been a Juju fan. Obviously, Sierra Canyon days. Been talking about, set the NCAA freshman scoring record. Has the potential to break Caitlin Clark's career record down the road if she keeps up this trajectory. Generational talent. But how are you preparing Juju for the good and all the positive that's to come in her career, and also for that negative side that inevitably all athletes have to deal with?
Yeah, but I think you need it.
Yeah.
You need that. When we say negative, as long as it's not this kind of like intentional hatred.
Yeah.
If you're talking about just criticism or opinions, you don't want to have a puff piece. You don't want to have everything to be rosy and perfect. That's part of your journey. Like, even when you look at someone like Caitlin, her failures is what allow her triumphs to be so magnified. We got to know her because, and the men's game, she actually learned from the women's game because this is how it was back in the day. The fact that she stayed in one place for so long and built a career, you grew to love her throughout the year. And the same, or throughout the years, if that makes sense. And the same thing's gonna happen for Juju, right? We saw her as a freshman. We saw her failure on the big stage in terms of her team losing and not getting all the way and winning the championship. That helps her grow. That's not a negative to me. That's a positive, because how do I come back better? She's more experienced now. Obviously, you've seen the job that Lindsay did, getting her more, not just her, but getting the team more help. So they're gonna be a better team. And her experience that she just had in playing a great team and losing is gonna help her the following year, And so I embrace it all. I think, look, Juju, going back to your point, the foundation of Juju Watkins as a basketball player times the foundation of Juju Watkins as a person.
Yes.
And when you put those two things together, you have, to me, what could be the most influential basketball player for the future.
She touches all the elements that you're looking
beautiful,
for.
stylish, personality-wise, thoughtful, gives back to her community. She was doing that as a sophomore in high school. She was thinking that way, hardworking. She knows what she wants. I've been in meetings to where she's attentive. She's asking questions. She's not making it only about her. She's trying to understand, and she's willing to listen. And more importantly, she's appreciative. I texted her the other day. She hit me right back. Thank you so much. Those things go a long way to me. And so her future is extremely bright.
There was this says everything you said, this game will second that. It's senior night, right? Right, it's senior night in Sierra Canyon. So everybody's in the crowd. Juju's about to go off, right? Everybody's yelling, 80, 80. The team we're playing, obviously no one can stop her anyway, but the team we're playing, so she'd be on a fast break, she'll pass it, right? By herself, pass it back, right? And everybody's like, what are you doing? And after the game, she was like, I wasn't the only senior on the team. This is their senior night too.
Absolutely.
We're all seniors.
That's
right?
leadership.
This is not for me to go out here and score 80, 90 points because I'm the name. She's a senior.
That's
she's
leadership.
A senior. She's a senior.
That's leadership.
And when I'm looking at that, when I'm hearing her explain it to people who are like, what's going on here? And when she said it, and I was like, that's what makes her a star.
That's leadership. That's leadership. Future is bright. I can't wait to her season start this year.
Got to talk Asia Wilson.
Love Asia.
Probably my favorite hooper in the game right
beast.
now. Having another MVP level season. This year she became a best-selling author. Also became the first Black women's basketball player to have a signature shoe with Nike since Cheryl Swoop's 2002. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about the Caitlin Clark effect and her impact on the league. But in my opinion, from top to bottom, the Aces, and I would say in all sports, are probably my favorite team. What they do on the court, obviously, but off the court with social media, marketing. Every single person on that team is hilarious. I love the vibe they have with each other. Asia's a key part of that. Youngest player in WNBA history to win MVP, Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year.
Unbelievable.
So, want to know, obviously she's with Clutch, but what is Asia doing to disprove the narrative in basketball that black women aren't marketable?
I don't even know where that came from,
Me neither.
honestly. I mean,
but that's just the way things are going.
Yeah, I mean, well, I get to see her numbers. She's definitely marketable.
And that's what I would argue.
You know, I think I can't answer that question because I have no idea where that came from.
Yeah.
But as it pertains to Asia, I think she's foundational when I look at her, right? There's no gimmick. There's just substance when you think about Asia, both on and off the floor. Way she plays the game, you know, how she leads. And I don't get to go to enough WNBA games. I wish I can go to more, but I did get to go to, you know, last year in the finals. But she deserved her own shoe, and rightfully so. And her having the patience and the want and the detail. Obviously, I'm in the meetings to do it right. When everyone is saying why she don't have this, she got it, but she just want to make sure it's done right. Which I applaud her because when you talk about the substance of it. But I also don't want to pin somebody against somebody else.
Yeah.
I think we should embrace the fact that the women's game is growing. The eyeballs have tremendously grew on their game, whether it's attributed to their play, whether it's attributed to you know, certain individuals' success, certain individuals now positioning and presence, betting, whatever you want to. The fact that I've been watching the women's game. You know, Nashima Hillman played at Vanderbilt was like an older sister to me, right? Samika Randall, who played at Tennessee, I used to go and watch her play her AAU games, and they had a team in high school, Trinity in high school, that was unbelievable. Chrissy Falcone that played at Magnificat back in the day. I watched the women's game just in Ohio, forget about it. And then all those, whether it's Teresa Edwards, whether it was Dawn Staley, whether it was Rebecca Lobo and you know, Tarazi and Bird and all the people that grew the game, and to see where it is now, you can't have today without yesterday, right? Now, it's unfair because, like you said, you want to get technical. Look at all the streaming and the platforms and this and that and the 24-hour news cycle and it's 365 and it's 24/7. So, to me, it's all these things together that is allowing this, but we're trying to zero in on specific things. I think it's unfair to the girls, and I think it's a distraction, right? Because whether it's physicality, whether it's style of play, whether it's, you know, demand, you know, for an individual, whatnot, I think it all matters as it pertains to the success of the overall women's game.
Yeah, and I look at it like when Bron came in and had that $100 million shoe deal, right?
Nobody liked that.
Nobody liked it, right? The people before. Now the people
Didn't like it.
Now the people who didn't have shoe deals looked at I personally was like, he just broke through a few walls that was not breakable. Which means if I was worth, with these stats, $200,000 a year, I automatically bump up to $500,000 because of him. He opened up the ceiling. I don't think people grasp understanding. So like someone like Asia, she is top of the food chain, but she can only eat so much because it's a pool, right? Someone came in that opened it up to the ocean. The person who's gonna eat is the person who was eating all the fish in this pool, right? So her bags is gonna go up because she is the best
everybody benefits.
A lot of people don't look at it like that.
Everybody benefits.
Hey.
And in that case back then, remember, people were upset because they felt like, oh, he hadn't done nothing yet.
Yes.
But I disagree, because are you basing on performance? Because when you are a signature athlete, they're not doing these things because you're scoring 30 every night only. They're talking about cultural relevance. They're talking about connectivity. They're talking about a return on their investment if you have the ability to build an actual business to where they can sell shoes, they can sell slides, they can sell tees, shorts, basketballs, accessories, all these things. So when you do the numbers, which I'm pretty sure Nike made their money, his entire contract, they made back in year one.
Yeah.
That's just business. You get what I'm saying? And so,
And that's what somebody like me made. I signed a deal for $48 million. If there's no $100 million contract that comes through the door, that doesn't happen for a player like me, right?
No.
But I
raise,
see it.
yeah, because now you raise the, what I would say.
That was considered the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, you really raised the bar and the opportunity and the revenue available for sneakers. And remember, also, back in those days, the basketball sneaker was actually the lifestyle sneaker.
Yep.
And so it's transitioning or translating over to the average person that even don't play basketball. They're still wearing a basketball shoe. So now you're getting a 2-for-1.
Yep.
How you think the business of MJ was built so big? 85% of the people, by the way, more than that, teams didn't wear his shoe in their high school games. You waited till you got out of the game, and then you wore your shoe to the spot that night. You didn't wear, you had to, only a crazy guy like me who was getting a little time would wear because I wouldn't worry about mine increasing. But if you only had one pair, you're not wearing them in the game. Are you crazy? No, I'm wearing these with my leather and my cargo jeans, my carpenters, and I'm out the door. That's how that worked. So it's just, but you can't expect everybody to understand that business.
Yes.
So.